My friends, in today's world where everything is fast, fast food, fast internet, fast cars, we often forget that the greatest achievements of life don't come instantly. A seed never turns into a tree overnight. It silently grows beneath the soil, unseen, unnoticed, and often forgotten. But with patience and silence, it eventually breaks the ground and becomes a tree that gives shade, fruit, and life to others. In the same way, success is not about noise, nor about rushing. It belongs to those who are willing to wait, who are willing to stay calm, even in storms, and who understand that silence is not weakness, but strength. We must remember, diamonds are not formed in a day. They endure heat, pressure, and time. Likewise, success is polished by the patience we hold and the silence we practice. The impatient often quit. The noisy often distract themselves, but the patient and silent walk steadily toward their goal. The world may not clap for them today, but one day the applause will be louder than they ever imagined. So, let us learn to trust the timing of life. When we are patient, we are not passive, we are preparing. When we are silent, we are not powerless, we are focused. Success always bows down to those who wait, watch, and work quietly with determination. Success is like a seed, and this simple metaphor can teach us more about life than 1,000 theories. Imagine a farmer standing in his field with a handful of seeds. He knows that if he just holds on to them, nothing will ever happen. But when he places them into the soil, something invisible begins. For days, maybe even weeks, there seems to be no result. The ground looks the same, the field looks empty, and to an impatient observer it feels as if nothing is happening. Yet deep beneath the soil, something remarkable is taking place. The seed is quietly breaking open, roots are stretching downward, and the first shoots are preparing to push upward. This is the unseen, silent, and patient stage of growth. Success works in exactly the same way. When we begin our journey, our efforts are often invisible to the world. We may wake up early, study late, practice relentlessly, or plan with discipline. Yet to others it may seem as if we are standing still. But in truth, just like the seed, we are growing in silence. Our roots of knowledge, discipline, and resilience are stretching deeper. And unless these roots are strong, the tree of success will not stand tall when challenges come. Many people give up because they don't see immediate results. They want the fruit without honoring the soil, the harvest without watering the ground, the tree without waiting for growth. But nature never skips steps, and neither does life. A seed that is forced to grow too quickly never becomes strong. Similarly, when we become restless for quick rewards, we risk losing the foundation that is necessary for lasting achievement. There is also something humbling about this process. A seed does not make noise while growing. It doesn't shout, "Look at me, I am becoming a tree." Its power lies in silence. True growth is often invisible and unnoticed until one day it emerges and surprises everyone. In the same way, success belongs to those who can embrace the quiet phase, the time when the world might doubt them, when people might not recognize their efforts. If you stay patient and persistent, one day your results will bloom so beautifully that no one can deny them. Think of a student preparing for an exam. While others are enjoying distractions, this student is silently studying, revising, and practicing in the moment. It looks like sacrifice with no reward. But when the results are declared, the silent preparation speaks louder than any words could. Or imagine an athlete training before sunrise, running laps when no one is watching. At first, it feels lonely, but when the race begins, all the silent work becomes visible as victory. This is the secret of the seed. It teaches us that silence is not inactivity. Just because no one sees what you are doing does not mean growth isn't happening. Success is not about instant results. It is about invisible preparation that one day blossoms into undeniable reality. So when you feel that your efforts are unnoticed, when you feel that nothing is changing, remember the seed. Trust the soil, trust the process, and stay patient. Because one day, just like the seed, you will break through the surface and everyone will see the tree you were destined to become. Patience is often misunderstood as weakness, as if waiting makes us powerless. But in truth, patience is one of the greatest forms of strength. Think about it. Anyone can become restless. Anyone can complain. Anyone can throw their hands up when things don't go their way. That requires no strength. True strength lies in the ability to wait with calmness, to endure with faith, and to continue walking steadily, even when progress feels slow. Patience is not passive, it is active resilience. When life tests us with delays, obstacles, or silence, patience is the quality that keeps us grounded. Imagine a mountain climber on a steep path. Every step is hard, the air is thin, and the summit looks impossibly far. Without patience, the climber would give up halfway, tired and discouraged. But with patience, he takes one step at a time, focusing not on how far he still has to go, but on the fact that he is moving forward. In the same way, our lives demand patience because every meaningful goal takes time. Success is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And only those who train their mind to endure the long journey reach the finish line. Patience also protects us from making poor decisions. Think of the times when anger or frustration led to actions we later regretted. In the heat of the moment, impatience whispers that we must act immediately, that we cannot wait. But patience gives us the pause we need, the clarity to choose wisely instead of reacting blindly. It is like standing at a crossroad. Impatience rushes us into the wrong path, while patience allows us to breathe, observe, and select the road that leads us closer to our true destination. Every great achievement in history has patience woven into its fabric. An artist does not complete a masterpiece in one stroke. It takes countless hours of silent labor. A musician does not perfect a song in a single attempt. It takes endless practice, sometimes in isolation, until the music becomes part of their soul. Even in our personal lives, patience determines the quality of our relationships, friendships, marriages, partnerships. None of them flourish overnight. They are nurtured through time, understanding, forgiveness, and patience. Without it, even love loses its strength. Patience also brings peace of mind. When we learn to wait, we reduce the burden of anxiety that comes from always demanding results now. A farmer does not panic after planting seeds. He trusts the seasons. He trusts the rain. He trusts time. Similarly, we must learn to trust the process of our own efforts. When we have done our part, patience allows us to rest in the assurance that things will unfold as they should. Impatience keeps us restless, but patience keeps us balanced and hopeful. The truth is, impatience often makes us blind to progress. We want giant leaps, but we ignore the small steps that are quietly moving us forward each day. Patience, on the other hand, helps us recognize the value of those small victories. It teaches us to appreciate growth in its slow but steady form. And this is why patience is strength. It keeps us steady when storms come. It keeps us disciplined when shortcuts appear. And it keeps us moving when the world tells us to quit. Silence is often mistaken for emptiness, but in reality, silence is a powerful source of focus. In a world filled with constant noise, messages, notifications, gossip, opinions, silence becomes rare. Yet it is in silence that the mind begins to see clearly and the heart begins to listen deeply. When we choose silence, we are not running away from the world. We are aligning ourselves with our true purpose. Think of a student in a crowded environment trying to prepare for an important exam. Around him, people are talking, laughing, and wasting time. If he allows himself to get distracted, his focus is broken. But if he chooses silence, closing his ears to distractions, keeping his eyes on his books, he creates a space where learning can flow. In that silence, the noise of the world fades and clarity takes its place. The same applies to success. Those who can master silence develop a sharpness of mind that allows them to see opportunities others miss. Silence is also discipline. It is the art of holding back unnecessary words and channeling energy where it truly matters. Many people waste hours talking about what they want to do, announcing their goals to everyone, or complaining about obstacles. But silence teaches us that real progress is made not by announcing, but by acting. The strongest people are not those who speak the loudest, but those who quietly build, plan, and prepare. Their silence becomes their shield, protecting them from distractions, and their focus becomes their weapon, leading them towards success. Imagine an archer preparing to release an arrow. Before letting go, there is complete stillness. The bow is drawn, the breath is held, the mind is concentrated, and only then does the arrow fly straight to the target. Without silence and focus in that moment, the arrow would miss. Life works the same way. If we are restless and noisy inside, our actions scatter. But if we cultivate silence within, our actions become precise, impactful, and meaningful. Silence also gives us the ability to listen, not just to others, but to ourselves. Often, the answers we seek are already within us, but the noise of the world covers them. When we practice silence, we hear the subtle voice of our intuition, the quiet wisdom of our heart, and the calm guidance of our inner self. This is why some of the greatest ideas and inventions in history were born in solitude, in moments when individuals embraced silence and let their imagination speak louder than the outside world. Furthermore, silence shields us from unnecessary conflict. Many arguments and problems arise not because they are important, but because we fail to remain silent at the right time. When we are quick to respond, to defend, or to criticize, we create chaos. But silence allows us to rise above pettiness. It keeps us focused on what matters rather than being dragged into what doesn't. This focus saves time, saves energy, and keeps us aligned with our bigger vision. The world may tempt us to speak, to react, to prove ourselves at every step. But those who understand the power of silence know that they don't need to prove anything. Their work, their discipline, their results will eventually speak for them. In silence, there is strength. In silence, there is clarity. And in silence, there is the focus that success demands. Diamonds are admired all over the world for their brilliance, beauty, and strength. But few people stop to think about how a diamond is formed. It doesn't appear instantly, nor is it created in easy conditions. A diamond is born when carbon is placed under immense pressure and heat, buried deep within the earth for thousands, even millions of years. Only after enduring that silent, unseen process does it emerge as one of the most precious stones on the planet. This is the story of success as well. Nothing truly valuable comes without time, pressure, and resilience. When we look at successful people, we often admire the shine of their diamond, but we forget the years of silent endurance they went through. Every achievement that appears beautiful on the outside has a hidden history of struggles, failures, late nights, sacrifices, and pressure that shaped it. Just as a diamond cannot be formed without pressure, success cannot be formed without trials. These trials are not punishments, they are shaping forces. They refine us, make us tougher, and prepare us to shine when the right time arrives. Pressure in life can come in many forms. Sometimes it comes as challenges in work, sometimes as personal struggles, sometimes as financial difficulties, or even as failures that break our confidence. In those moments, it is tempting to ask, why me? But if we look deeper, we realize that these very pressures are the forces shaping us. Without them, we would remain like ordinary coal, untested and unshaped. It is only through enduring them with patience and strength that we transform into something extraordinary. Think of an athlete training for the Olympics. The body is pushed to its limits with hours of daily practice. Muscles etch, fatigue sets in, and failures in competition can feel discouraging. But this pressure is not an enemy. It is the exact force needed to build strength, stamina, and focus. Without it, the athlete could never stand on the podium. Or think of a student working tirelessly for years, handling the stress of exams, the weight of expectations, and the challenges of learning. That pressure, though uncomfortable, is shaping the mind into one that can handle responsibilities, knowledge, and leadership. What makes diamonds precious is not only their shine, but their rarity. They are rare because few elements can endure intense such conditions and come out stronger. The same is true for people. Many give up when life applies pressure. They run away from struggles, quit when challenges become too heavy, or break down when results don't come immediately. But those who hold on, who stay patient under pressure, who continue to trust the process, these individuals emerge rare, unshakable, and brilliant in their success. The beauty of the diamond also lies in the fact that no two are identical. Each one has a unique cut, a unique shine, a unique journey from deep within the earth to the jeweler's hand. In the same way, every person's journey to success is unique. Your pressures, your struggles, your path may look different from someone else's, but it does not make it less valuable. What matters is that you allow the process to shape you rather than break you. When you are in a season of heat and pressure, remind yourself of the diamond. It does not complain while buried in darkness, nor does it demand to shine before its time. It endures. It allows the process to complete itself. And when the right moment arrives, it emerges with brilliance. In the same way, your trials are shaping you for a future that will shine far brighter than your present challenges suggest. In today's world, noise has become a measure of importance. People think that if they talk loudly about their goals, if they announce every little achievement, if they constantly remind others of their plans, they will be seen as successful. But the truth is, noise attracts attention, not results. Real success doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops. It quietly reveals itself through consistent effort and undeniable outcomes. Consider a student who spends more time telling everyone about how hard he studies instead of actually studying. His words might impress his friends for a while, but when exam results arrive, his marks will reveal the truth. On the other hand, another student may remain quiet, not talking much about his preparation, but focusing on his books in silence. The world might overlook him at first, But when the results are declared, his performance will speak louder than any words ever could. The lesson is simple effort, not noise, builds success. Noise often distracts not only others, but ourselves. When we spend time talking about our dreams, instead of working on them, we waste valuable energy. Success requires focus, discipline, and commitment, qualities that grow in silence. Imagine a craftsman shaping a piece of wood into art. He doesn't shout with every stroke of his tool. He quietly works until the masterpiece is complete. Only then do people admire his creation. Similarly, when we work quietly and consistently, our results eventually command respect without the need for unnecessary words. Many people confuse noise with progress. They feel that updating the world about their efforts means they are achieving something. But true achievers know that progress happens in private and the outcome becomes public when the time is right. Think about nature. When a flower is blooming, it doesn't make a sound, yet its fragrance spreads everywhere, silently touching hearts and drawing attention without asking for it. Success is exactly like that fragrance. It doesn't need an announcement. It naturally gets noticed. There is also a deep wisdom in silence. When we are quiet, we conserve energy. We are not caught up in proving ourselves to others or defending our worth. Instead, we direct that energy into our actions. A noisy person is often insecure, trying to convince others of something they don't fully believe themselves. A silent worker, on the other hand, is confident. They don't need external validation because they trust the process and believe in their effort. History, too, is filled with examples of individuals who let their work speak for them. Inventors, philosophers, leaders, they were not busy making noise about what they would achieve. They dedicated themselves silently to their vision until the results changed the world. And when the results came, the world noticed, admired, and respected them. No amount of noise could have replaced the impact of their actual work. Noise is temporary, but results are lasting. People may forget what you said about yourself, but they will never forget what you built, what you achieved, and how you made an impact. That is why true achievers prefer silence. They understand that every word wasted in noise could have been a step forward in action. And when the time comes, their success shines brightly that it makes more noise than any words ever could. Impatience is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It tempts us with the illusion that everything worthwhile can and should happen instantly. In a world of fast food, instant downloads, and one-click purchases, we have grown used to speed. But success doesn't follow the rules of instant gratification. It follows the law of steady growth, and impatience often destroys that process before it matures. Imagine planting a fruit tree. A child who doesn't understand patience might water the soil today and expect mangoes tomorrow. When he sees nothing happen, he digs the soil again to check whether the seed is growing. In doing so, he interrupts the natural process and damaging the roots before they even have the chance to spread. Impatience is exactly like that. When we rush results, we sabotage the very foundation of our success. Growth takes time, and impatience does not allow time to do its work. Impatience also weakens our mind. When we expect quick rewards, our resilience is fragile. The first delay, the first obstacle, or the first setback makes us lose hope. Many talented people give up not because they lack ability, but because they lack patience. They want results to arrive in their timing, not in life's timing. But real success comes to those who understand that delays are not denials. They are preparations. Life uses time to shape us, to test our commitment, and to prepare us for bigger responsibilities that instant success could never handle. Consider the journey of learning a skill. Take, for example, learning to play a musical instrument. In the beginning, the sounds are messy. The fingers stumble, and the progress feels painfully slow. An impatient student will quit, frustrated that they cannot play like a master in just a few weeks. But the one who endures, who practices daily, who accepts slow progress, eventually reaches mastery. Success belongs to the patient learner, not the impatient quitter. Impatience also makes us chase shortcuts. Instead of working steadily, we look for the fastest route, the easy way, the quick fix. But shortcuts often lead to disappointments or even failures. A building made quickly without strong foundations may rise fast, but it collapses just as fast. Success built on shortcuts lacks the strength to endure. Patience, however, ensures that every brick is placed properly, that every foundation is solid, and then that when the structure of success rises, it stands tall for years to come. There is another hidden danger of impatience. It blinds us to the beauty of the journey. When we are obsessed only with results, we forget to appreciate the lessons, experiences, and growth happening along the way. But often, the journey teaches us more than the destination. The struggles shape our character, the small victories build our confidence, and the challenges refine our strength. An impatient person misses these treasures because their eyes are fixed only on the finish line. A patient person, however, gains not only the result, but also the wisdom of the journey. True success is like ripened fruit. If you pluck it too early, it tastes sour. But if you wait for it to mature, it becomes sweet and nourishing. Impatience leads to failure because it pushes us to act before the right time. Patience allows us to wait, to prepare, and to receive success when it is ready and when we are ready for it. Impatience is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It tempts us with the illusion that everything worthwhile can and should happen instantly. In a world of fast food, instant downloads, and one-click purchases, we have grown used to speed. But success doesn't follow the rules of instant gratification. It follows the law of steady growth, and impatience often destroys that process before it matures. Imagine planting a fruit tree. A child who doesn't understand patience might water the soil today and expect mangoes tomorrow. When he sees nothing happen, he digs the soil again to check whether the seed is growing. In doing so, he interrupts the natural process, damaging the roots before they even have the chance to spread. Impatience is exactly like that. When we rush results, we sabotage the very foundation of our success. Growth takes time, and an impatience does not allow time to do its work. Impatience also weakens our mind. When we expect quick rewards, our resilience is fragile. The first delay, the first obstacle, or the first setback makes us lose hope. Many talented people give up not because they lack ability, but because they lack patience. They want results to arrive in their timing, not in life's timing. But real success comes to those who understand that delays are not denials. They are preparations. Life uses time to shape us, to test our commitment, and to prepare us for bigger responsibilities that instant success could never handle. Consider the journey of learning a skill. Take for example, learning to play a musical instrument. In the beginning, the sounds are messy, the fingers stumble, and the progress feels painfully slow. An impatient student will quit, frustrated that they cannot play like a master in just a few weeks. But the one who endures, who practices daily, who accepts slow progress, eventually reaches mastery. Success belongs to the patient learner, not the impatient quitter. Impatience also makes us chase shortcuts. Instead of working steadily, we look for the fastest route, the easy way, the quick fix. But shortcuts often lead to disappointments or even failures. A building made quickly without strong foundations may rise fast, but it collapses just as fast. Success built on shortcuts lacks the strength to endure. Patience, however, ensures that every brick is placed properly, that every foundation is solid, and that when the structure of success rises, it stands tall for years to come. There is another hidden danger of impatience. It blinds us to the beauty of the journey. When we are obsessed only with results, we forget to appreciate the lessons, experiences, and growth happening along the way. But often, the journey teaches us more than the destination. The struggles shape our character. The small victories build our confidence, and the challenges refine our strength. An impatient person misses these treasures because their eyes are fixed only on the finish line. A patient person, however, gains not only the result, but also the wisdom of the journey. True success is like ripened fruit. If you pluck it too early, it tastes sour. But if you wait for it to mature, it becomes sweet and nourishing. Impatience leads to failure because it pushes us to act before the right time. Patience allows us to wait, to prepare, and to receive success when it is ready and when we are ready for it. Life unfolds in its own rhythm, And one of the greatest lessons we can learn is to trust its timing. Often we become restless when things do not happen according to our plans. We expect results within months, promotions within weeks, or recognition instantly after effort. But life has a way of teaching us patience by making us wait until the right season arrives. Trusting divine timing does not mean doing nothing. It means doing everything we can and then surrendering the outcome, believing that when the moment is right, doors will open. Think of a farmer again. He plants his seeds at the right season, waters the soil, and takes care of his field. But no matter how much he worries, he cannot control the rain or the sun. He cannot command the crops to grow faster. All he can do is trust the timing of nature. In the same way, we must trust the timing of our lives. We prepare, we work, we sacrifice, but ultimately life decides when the harvest is ready. Impatience might make us dig up the soil to check if the seeds are growing, but faith allows us to wait until the right moment, knowing that growth is happening even if we cannot see it. Trusting divine timing also saves us from unnecessary frustration. Many times, we think we are ready for something, but in reality, we are not. We may want success, but perhaps we lack the maturity to handle it. We may desire leadership, but perhaps we still need to learn humility. We may long for recognition, but perhaps our skills are not yet refined. If life gave us everything at the moment we demanded it, we might misuse it or fail under its weight. The waiting period, though uncomfortable, is life's way of preparing us. It is polishing us like a sculptor chiseling a stone, making sure we are strong enough to carry what we are asking for. There are countless examples of people who achieved something too soon and then lost it quickly. Success that comes before its time can feel sweet for a moment, but it rarely lasts. Just like a fruit plucked before ripening is sour, success gained before maturity often brings regret. But when life allows us to grow into the person who can handle greater responsibilities, the success we receive not only stays with us, but also multiplies. Sometimes delays are blessings in disguise. We may not understand them in the moment, but years later, we look back and realize that what seemed like rejection was actually protection. A lost opportunity might have saved us from a wrong path. A closed door might have redirected us to something far better. Trusting divine timing means having the wisdom to know that life sees a bigger picture than we do. When we embrace this trust, we also embrace peace. We stop comparing ourselves with others who seem to be moving faster. We stop resenting delays. Instead, we focus on our journey, confident that what is meant for us will come, and it will come at the perfect time. Just as the sun rises every morning without fail, the blessings that are written for us will arrive without fail, neither too early nor too late, but exactly when we are ready. When success comes too quickly, it often slips away just as fast. But when success is earned through patience, it stays because it is built on a strong foundation. Patient people are not only able to achieve their goals, they are able to sustain them. There is a great difference between reaching the top and remaining there. Many reach the top in a rush, but only those with discipline and patience can stay there with dignity and stability. Think of a person who wins sudden fame through luck or chance. Perhaps a single video makes them popular overnight, or one opportunity brings them into the spotlight. The attention feels exciting at first, but without the foundation of patience, discipline, and consistent work, it fades. The same public that applauded today forgets tomorrow. Why? Because the person was not ready to sustain the weight of success. Contrast that with someone who spends years perfecting their craft, learning, failing, trying again, and building step by step. When recognition finally comes, it is not fragile. It lasts because it is supported by real effort, resilience, and patience. Patience in the journey ensures we develop the character to handle success responsibly. Imagine giving a sharp sword to a child. It would be dangerous. In the same way, giving success to someone who has not learned patience is risky. They might misuse it, become arrogant, or crumble under pressure. But someone who has waited, endured hardships, and grown through challenges carries success with humility and wisdom. They know the value of what they have achieved because they fought for it with persistence. That awareness allows them to sustain it without being intoxicated by it. Patience also creates consistency. Achievements gained through shortcuts rarely last. But when someone has walked the long road with patience, they have already developed habits of discipline. A patient person knows how to manage their time, how to focus, how to endure criticism, and how to keep going even when motivation is low. These habits become the pillars that hold up long-term success. Even when external applause dies down, these habits keep the person steady on their path. Think of great leaders, thinkers, or inventors. Their legacies were not built overnight. They faced countless failures, endured ridicule, and often worked in obscurity for years. Yet, because they were patient, their success not only arrived, but also lasted long enough to impact generations. Their achievements were not temporary waves, but enduring landmarks. This endurance is possible only when patience shapes the journey. Impatience also guards us from burning out. Impatience pushes us to sprint endlessly, to chase everything at once, often leaving us exhausted and disheartened. But patience allows us to pace ourselves, to take steady steps instead of desperate leaps. This rhythm of progress gives us the strength to keep going for years. And because of this, patient people don't just achieve success. They maintain it with energy, clarity, and balance. Sustaining success also means protecting relationships, health, and peace of mind. Impatient people often sacrifice everything in a rush to reach their goals, but once they achieve them, they realize they are too drained to enjoy them. Patient people, on the other hand, build in harmony. They grow slowly, but they carry their loved ones, their values, and their peace along the way. This balance makes their success richer, deeper, and far more sustainable. In the end, success that is sustained is far more valuable than success that is simply achieved. And patience is the quality that ensures what we build does not collapse. It keeps us humble when we rise, steady when we are tested, and strong enough to hold success, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. Respect is not demanded, it is earned. And two of the greatest qualities that draw respect from others are patience and silence. In a society where people often try to prove themselves through loud words, constant arguments, or aggressive displays of power, it is the calm and patient individual who stands out. Silence does not mean weakness, and patience does not mean passivity. Together, they create a character that others naturally admire and trust. When someone reacts impulsively to every situation, shouting at the slightest provocation or complaining about every small problem, people might notice them, but they do not truly respect them. On the other hand, when someone remains calm in the face of challenges, patient in the midst of delays, and silent when provoked, they earn quiet admiration. People begin to say, "This person has control, this person has wisdom." Respect flows not from noise, but from dignity. Think of a wise elder in a community. They may not be the loudest voice in the room, but when they do speak, everyone listens. Why? Because their silence gives way to their words. They do not waste energy on unnecessary chatter, and their patience has taught them when to act, when to wait. Such people inspire respect not by demanding it, but by living in a way that commands it naturally. Patience and silence also protect relationships. In moments of conflict, an impatient response can destroy years of trust, and a loud argument can create scars that never fully heal. But silence gives space for emotions to settle, and patience allows for understanding to grow. People feel safe with someone who does not lash out easily, someone who waits before reacting. That safety builds respect, because respect is born from trust. In the workplace too, these qualities are invaluable. An employee who complains loudly about every difficulty might get temporary attention, but rarely earns true admiration. An employee who patiently works through challenges, silently solves problems, and speaks with thoughtfulness becomes the one everyone looks up to. Leaders especially must embody patience and silence, for it is through these qualities that they guide others, wisdom instead of force. A leader who reacts impatiently creates fear, but a leader who shows patience creates respect and loyalty. History is filled with examples of individuals remembered not for their noise, but for their patience and composure. Great thinkers, reformers, and leaders were often silent workers, enduring criticism, waiting for the right time, and letting their actions speak louder than their words. Their patience made their success lasting, and their silence made their presence powerful. The world respects not those who shout about themselves, but those who quietly transform lives. Patience and silence also reflect inner strength. Anyone can raise their voice, anyone can become restless, but it takes true strength to remain calm, to endure without complaint, and to wait without losing hope. People instinctively respect those who possess this strength because it is rare and valuable. Such individuals radiate a sense of stability, and in an unstable world, stability is deeply admired. Ultimately, respect cannot be bought or forced. It grows naturally when people witness character. And the character shaped by patience and silence is one that commands respect wherever it goes. These qualities make a person dependable, wise, and admirable. Long after words are forgotten, patience and silence leave a lasting impression in the hearts of others.